Hey, what's up guys? It's Ben 2000 yugioh, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. So, my tricksters, today's video topic is going to be more of a fun one video, so I decided to do a top 10 monsters that Konami typed wrong. Now, before you guys come at me with your pitchforks, I want to prerequisite this. This is all based on the artwork of these monsters. So, like, if you look at the artwork of the monster, you look at the type and you go, that doesn't correlate. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't really go with the theme or the background of that monster. So that's where I'm getting at with this. Konami purposefully types every monster the way it's typed on purpose, alright? So I'm not saying they literally got it wrong. I'm just saying that the artwork doesn't match the type. That's what I'm talking about today. So, and there's no, like, you know, some of these are normal monsters, some of these are effect monsters, so bear with me. It's all going to be in good fun, so let's go ahead and get started with number one. And by the way, these aren't ranked in any particular order. So, let's go ahead and get started. Well, our first one we have is Ramidus of the Red Sword. That's probably not how you say that person's name. This monster is a warrior. That's not a warrior, guys. That's a beast warrior. Look at that dude. He is like a lizard man or a dragon man with a flaming sword. That's a beast warrior. Konami, warriors are humans. Humans or human-like, you know, like elves and stuff. That's like, you know, those are warriors. This dude's a beast warrior at best. Konami. Psst. The next one is, and this one's going to be a fan favorite for the people who watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime back in the day. Number 2 on the list is Two-Headed King Rex. Look at that thing. Does that scream dinosaur to you? That doesn't look like a dinosaur to me. That's a dragon. That's a two-headed dragon. That's Konami going, you know what? We're making too many dragons. Switch it up. Just, we'll say it's a dinosaur on paper. That's dragon, Konami. That's a dragon. Who are you trying to fool, Konami? Speaking of cards, speaking of dragons, though, that leads us into number 3. This card is labeled a dragon, but isn't one. Excuse me. Oops, skipped ahead. You got a sneak peek. Dragon Knight of Creation. This card is a dragon, right? But look at the artwork. There's nothing that screams dragon about that. I guess the design in his helmet looks a little bit like a dragon's head. A little bit. He's got horns, but that's it. He's got no scales on his body. You can clearly tell it's a man. And there, the armor doesn't scream dragon. He doesn't have tail or a tail or wings or scaly skin. There's nothing that screams I am a dragon knight outside of his helmet. Like literally, this is just a warrior. This is just a cosplay player pretending to be a dragon knight. This is. He's not even a real knight. He's just a cosplayer. I saw him at Comic-Con last week. No offense, cosplayers. I'm just kidding. R.I.P. Comic-Con. Anyway, the next one, as you guys kind of got a sneak peek, was Mera. This card is a worm, which worms are related to dragons. That'll lead me to something I'm going to mention at the end of the video, so you guys should stick around to the end of the video, because I have another thing I want to let you guys know at the end real correlating to this. But this is totally like a sea serpent or an aqua type monster. This doesn't scream like I'm related to dragons in any form or fashion. This is a sea serpent at best, okay? Like, ugh. Next one is a Bullblader, another warrior type card that is just not a warrior. This dude is totally a beast warrior, just like number 1. Like, you know, look at these dudes. These guys look like warriors. This doesn't even look like a helmet. That looks like, you know, it'd be one thing if he was like, if you could deliberately tell if that was like a helmet or something. But like, look at the hunch and all that stuff. This is totally like, you know, a minotaur or whatever with a giant sword. And he just doesn't look like a warrior to me. He screams beast warrior. This guy should be searchable off of Tenki, not searchable off of Rhoda. Now, alright, we got for the next one at number 6, we also have another one that is a fan favorite of the show, and that is La Jinn, the mystical genie of the lamp. And the reason why this one is on here is because he is a fiend, and I feel like he should be a spellcaster because, and I quote from Kaiba, I summon a spellcaster of my own. And then the Lajin is a genie that grants wishes using magic. This guy's a literal magic user! Robin Williams would be turning in his grave knowing that this is typed wrong if he played Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I miss that guy. Anyway, the, this is just frankly, this guy should be a spellcaster in my book. That's really how I feel about this particular card. Alright, and the next one we have on here is Triforce Tops. Now, this card came out in the Dragon Ruler era. This was a card that was kind of a hand trap because basically Dragon Rulers were, and this card was unaffected by effects, so it could be Big-Eyed or Denko Sekka. So basically a lot of Dragon Ruler players had trouble getting around this card. That's what its purpose was. This card is a hand trap to get around that particular deck at the time. That being said, having a 2800 body that's just unaffected by things doesn't really, doesn't really help, because people could just play something bigger and beat over it. But anyway, this card is a machine. This thing should be typed as a dinosaur because this thing looks to me like it is a dinosaur wearing armor, and the armor doesn't really look all that machine-like to me. He literally, if you look at his, if you look at his friggin', look, his leg, that is fleshy looking. It looks fleshy here. Looks like a fleshy tail. He just looks like he's wearing armor. It doesn't really scream, I am a robot. So this monster very much artwork-wise, I feel like should have been typed as a dinosaur. The next one we have on the list is Mother Grizzly. Mother Grizzly is another monster that I feel like Konami just typed it wrong. Mother Grizzly should have been a beast, and it's a beast warrior. She ain't got no armor on. She's, very all natural, pun intended. Grizzly. There's no weapons, nothing. Look at this guy. This guy screams beast warrior. This guy screams beast warrior. These are animal people with weapons and armor. This is not an animal person. This is just a blue grizzly bear. So I think Konami shouldn't have typed it Beast Warrior. They should just typed it Beast. But I digress. The next one we have is another card that probably should be a little related to the warrior category, but isn't. Denko Sekka. This monster is typed as a thunder type monster, and that's a good thing for the record, because Thunder Stun wouldn't be a thing without Denko Sekka. And maybe this card would be a little too powerful if it was a warrior, because then it'd be searchable off of Rhoda and Isolde, and that would probably scare people. To have, especially people for warriors, to have a monster like Denko Sekka that they could, oh yeah, now I lock your back row out, too. So it is for the best that, there's a reason Konami didn't make this card a warrior, but I still feel like it should have been. Looking at the artwork, this screams like a samurai type monster. That's what this artwork screams at me. This thing doesn't scream like I am related to Raiden, the god of thunder, or anything like that. This card just looks at me there's a little bit of lightning, a little bit of electricity around the sword blade, but that's the only connection you have to thunder. So that doesn't really, it's not very lightning-y. We've got tons of monsters that are warriors that have more electricity in their artwork that are warriors, that it would make more sense for them to be thunder type than this monster. I'm sorry, Elemental Hero Sparkman is more thunder type than this monster. Anyway, and last but not least, before we get into our number 10 one, we're going to do some honorable mentions, and my honorable mentions are Thousand Eyes Restrict and Chronomaly Atlantis. Tell me how this looks like a spellcaster and not some kind of demon. Tell me that. That is a fiend. And this monster, this guy's a machine. That's not a machine. That's a golem, man. That's a rock man. Rock type. Konami. You slipping, bruh. You slipping. You been slipping the whole time. Anyway, and to get to the last one, number 10, past our honorable mentions, is Jinzo. Esperoba's whole gimmick was, I'm a psychic dude, I'm reading your mind. And I know psychics didn't exist, but now that I think about it, Jinzo should have been the first psychic monster. And and subsequently is very much like there should have been a correlation to him and the actual psychic type monsters, you know. But Jinzo should be a psychic type, you know. I mean, based on this artwork, you could also say he's more thunder than Denko Sekka. That's right, Konami, I just called you out again. But yes, number 10, Jinzo should have been the first psychic monster that we ever got in the game, and just kind of like, because that's kind of his thing. He looks like a dude in a freaky mask. He doesn't even look like a robot at all, which is what machines are. They're supposed to be robots. This dude doesn't look like one. I'm glad that he is a machine, don't get me wrong, because, you know, in back row heavy formats, I'll side him into my Cyber Dragon deck. Okay, Cyber Dragon, Tribute, Summon Jinzo. Watch the trap dudes go, you know, get mad, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so, if this video can get, like, up to 10 likes, what I want to do for another top 10 is, my next top 10 is going to be entire archetypes that are typed wrong. So, if you guys want to see that, you know, drop me one of these, let me know that you enjoyed this video. This is a Ben 10 top 10, I guess. I don't know, I'm going to come up, we got to catch, there's a catchy title for this series. For a series of top 10s with my 10k 10s. I don't know. You guys can also leave that in the comments below if you guys can want to help me come up with a catchy title. Anyway, guys, I'm Yugioh. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. You know, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.